Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about some commonly asked Infosys interview question. This interview took place on the 12th July 2025 and the question I am sharing today is from that latest round. This interview had a 3 round and we will go through them one by one. So today video we will see the round 1 question, that is technical round. So let's begin. The first question is, tell me about your role and responsibility in your project. So guys, this is the most important question and the most common question that interviewer asks in the interview. So for that question I have created a separate video for this question, and if you haven't seen it yet, so please check it out my video section. Means I have already created the separate video for that question, so if you didn't see, so please go through my video section. The next question is, have you created framework from scratch and explain the architecture? Guys, I have also created a separate video for this question also, so if you haven't seen this question, so please check it out my video section. Now moving to the third question, and the third question is, which design pattern you have used in your framework? Before moving to this question guys, there are some common questions that are usually asked in the interview, include like, can you explain your project structure, can you explain your framework, what were your role and responsibility, which methodology you use in your project. So these type of questions are asked very often, so make you be well prepared to answer them confidently. So our question is, which design pattern you have used in the framework? First we will see design pattern. Design pattern means it is a ready-made template or blueprint that help us common problem in a smart, reusable and the efficient way. So in automation testing, design pattern are like tested recipe to build a framework that are clean, easy to maintain and reusable. So we see what is design pattern. The design pattern is a standard solution to a common problem in the software design, and in our test automation framework, usually design pattern helps structure the code for better readability, better reusability and maintainability. Common design pattern used in the automations like page object model, page factory, singleton and the factory design pattern. So guys, if the interviewer asks what types of the design pattern you have used in your framework, so you can say it like page object model, page factory, singleton, factory. I mean any of this pattern you can tell in the interview. So page object model means it is used to separate page specific operation and element from the test script. Page factory means it is the extension of page object model using initializations of the web element, and the singleton means to ensure the class has only one object. So first we see the real-time example that we use design pattern in the framework. So first we will see the page object model. Page object model means each page of the application has a separate class. If in the application, if there is a 20 pages, so we have to create the separate 20 classes for that 20 pages. Element and method related to that pages are written inside init, and these promote code reusability and maintainability, because page class and the test class is separated in the page object model. We will see. This is a login page, means in the login page we have first find out the all the element by using locators, and then we create the method in the page login page, and then login page test class in that page we call this method and perform the action. So in the page object model we separated page class and the test class. Then after that there is a page factory pattern design, so it enhances the page object using @find by annotation. Guys, here we use @find by locator, means by.id pass. So in the page object page factory pattern you have to @find by annotation, like that, means @find by id equal to user. So we have use @find by annotation here. And third is a singleton pattern. So singleton pattern means it is used to create single instance of WebDriver, and it avoid multiple browser sections, like that you can see on the screen. Guys, before moving to these questions, also I remembered was question that I faced in the interview, and the question was why we need a singleton pattern in the automation framework. Actually, this question is not related to this Infosys interview round, but now I remembered, so I am explaining this question also. The question was why we need singleton in automation framework. So guys, without singleton, if every test method create its own WebDriver object, it open a multiple browser window, and this causes resources wastage and a test flockiness. So we use singleton because only one WebDriver object is used across our test session, and so it ensured consistency, stability, and control on our test cases. That's why we use singleton in our automation project. And how it works when we worked with a singleton pattern. So how it works? So in a singleton pattern we write private static WebDriver driver, means single instance shared everywhere. Here we use private means no one can create the object of these classes. And get driver means it driver get driver means it is a method of the and if driver is null, then it will create the it, and if the already created, so return an existence one. So in this way we have to explain this question in the interview. Now the next question is difference between comparable and the comparator. So first we understand the basic analogy about comparable and the comparator. Let's say you are a teacher and you are sorting the student. So in the comparable topic, each student say here's how to compare me with another student, and the logic is inside the student. Means in the comparator, student told us that how to compare that particular student with another student, and in the comparator means an external examiner say I will compare two students based on your choice like name, age, mark, and this logic is outside the student class. Means comparable means this is a logic inside the student, and the comparator means this is a outside the classes. So comparable means I compare myself, and comparator means you compare me with other, like that. Now we will see the professional definition. Professional definition like comparable belongs to the java.lang package and comparator belongs to java.util package. Which interface method we use in the comparable? So we use compare to method in the comparable, and we use compare method is a comparator. Comparison logic means in comparable interface the logic inside the class, and in comparator interface logic is outside the classes. When we talk about sorting, so natural sorting is included in the comparable interface, that is default sorting, and the custom ordering or custom sorting is present in the comparator interface. Example like collection.sort, it is an example of comparable interface, and collection sort.list comma comparator, it is the example of comparator. Here two values present because we compare two values. Modification means we can change changes in the class itself, but in the comparator no changes to the original class. Now other question may be asked interviewer. Interviewer may be asked the other question related to the comparable comparator, like when to use comparator and when to use comparable. So we use comparable when we want a natural sorting, and we use comparator when we need a multiple sorting criteria. We modify the class when we use comparable interface, and we can't modify the class when we use the comparator interface. So a real-time example like we use comparable if we have to define natural sorting, and we use comparable if we have to define the multiple sorting criteria that time. So as you see on the screen, when we work with a drop down, that time we are using comparable interface. So in the interview we have to we have to say like the key difference is the comparable is used defined in the natural ordering of the object by implementing compare to method inside the class itself, while comparator provide a way to sort externally by implementing compare method and passing it during sorting. I use comparable when the sorting logic is fixed and the part of the object, and I use comparator when I need flexibility like sorting the same object differently in a different scenario. So this is the summary table regarding comparable comparator. Pause the screen and read it carefully. Now we'll see real-time scenario like you have a web table of employee name and salary, and we want to verify that when you click salary column it sorted value in ascending order. So it is the natural sorting. So as you see on the screen, here it is the example. Here we use java.collection method which applies comparator implicitly by primitive types like integer. Now moving to the next question, and the next question is what are the cases where you will use the finally block. So first we will see what is finally block. Finally block means it is a part of the try catch finally exception handling structure. Means when we use try catch finally try catch block, then we have to include the finally block also. It always execute after the try block and optionally the catch block regardless whether exception is occur or not. Means finally block will always execute except try block is executed or catch block is executed. Finally block will always executed. So where we use this finally block in our project, so when we have to close the database connection, that time we use finally block in our framework. If the interviewer asks where we use, so that time you have to say it like that. It is important notes about finally. So finally always executed even if exception occur or not. It execute with a return. Means if you return from try catch, finally will still return and doesn't execute it only if JVM crashes. For example, if we write system.exit, so it will skip. Me finally block not executed if we write system.exit bracket 0. So what if finally itself throw the exception? It is also one more question. Because this question also I remembered and I faced this question, so I have included this question in this question. So what if finally itself throw the exception? So if you write code in finally and throws the exception, so it can hide the original exception from try catch block. That's why we should handle exception inside the finally block too when needed. As in an interviewer, we have to say it like that: I use finally block in situation where I need to execute cleanup code regardless of whether exception occur or not, because even exception occur or not occur, finally block will always execute it. For example, I used to close database connection, file reader, Selenium WebDriver instances, and that time I will use finally block in our project. The next question is difference between Scrum and the Kanban. Scrum, Kanban. So first we will see Scrum one framework type. So Scrum is a iterative framework type and Kanban is a continuous framework type. When we talk about time frame, so Scrum is a fixed frame, means it is 1 week or 4 week or 2 week or 3 week. But in Kanban, no fixed time is, it is a continuous flow. What are the role present in the Scrum? So there is a Scrum Master, Product Owner and a team member present in the Scrum, but in Kanban no mandatory role. What about planning in the Scrum and Kanban? So sprint planning, review, retrospective meeting is present in the Scrum, but in the Kanban no specific meeting is present. So work assignment means team commit to sprint backlog, and here team pull tasks as they have ready. So it is not it is not in a fixed time that in this fixed time you have to complete the your work as like a Scrum. So changes allowed during execution not recommended in Scrum, but in a Kanban the week can allow the changes during executed. So work limit, it is a task per sprint. Here work limit. Board style meet, it is there is a Scrum board reset each sprint. After each sprint we have to reset our Scrum board, but Scrum board is a continuous. So this is a difference between the Scrum and the Kanban. Now the question is how to explain this question in the interview. So Scrum and Kanban and more agile methodology, but they differ in the structure. As a Scrum is a sprint based with a peak length iteration, defined role, and the ceremonies like sprint planning, retrospective, and we commit a specific set of tasks during the each sprint. these all about the Scrum, because Scrum is a sprint base with a fixed length iteration, fixed time, fixed defined role, and the ceremonies like sprint planning, retrospective meeting, and here we commit to specific test of the tasks during each sprint. On the other hand, when we talk about Kanban, so Kanban is a flow base where tasks are continuously pulled from backlog based on the team capacity, and there are no fixed role or the sprint. And in my current project, we follow a Scrum that there is a 2-week sprint, daily stand up and a retrospective meeting. And for support and the production bug tagging, we sometimes follow a Kanban style to handle the continuous inflow of issue. So in this way you have to explain this question in the interview, and I hope guys you understood this question very well. And if you didn't understand this question, so you can comment in the comment box. I can try to discover this question in the next video section. Now the next question is mock versus sanity testing and regression versus retesting. So this is a questions about the difference between the smoke and the sanity testing and regression and the retesting. Now we will see the analogy, basic analogy regarding smoke sanity testing. So smoke testing means imagine you bought a new TV or microwave oven and you plug it in and check, is it turning on, is it display working, is it basic heating functional working. So it is the all about the basic check, means is the product stable enough for detailed testing or not. This is a smoke testing. Smoke testing means it is a basic testing before starting to our deep testing. Sanity testing means suppose after 2 days someone fix a timer bug and you now quickly test the timer only to make sure that specific fix work or no issue quick is there, and it is a quick check of the particular functionality. So guys, as a smoke testing, you bought a microwave oven, you plug in and check is it turning on, it is display working, all basic heating functionality is working or not. But suppose after 2 days there is a timer issue, means it is a bug occur, and now we have to quickly test that particular timer bug only, not all specific work. We have to check specific timer work only, and that is called the sanity testing. Now we see the difference between the smoke testing and the sanity testing. So guys, smoke testing purposes means it is used to ensure build is stable or not, and sanity testing means it is verify specific functionality after a fix. Scope about the scope in the smoke testing, like it is a broad and shallow, and but sanity testing is a narrow and a deep, because in the smoke testing we only follow a basic testing, but sanity testing we follow a deep testing. We perform smoke testing when we receive a new build, and we perform sanity testing when there is a minor bug fix or the small change is made. Now what type of the smoke testing and what type is the sanity testing? So smoke testing is a build verification testing, and sanity testing is a subset of the regression testing. Automations, when we talk about automation testing, so smoke testing can be automated, and sanity testing means generally we use manually testing in the for the sanity testing. When we talk about documentation, so we use smoke documentation for the smoke testing, and generally the sanity testing is undocumented. Example, like when any app launches or login screen load, we use the smoke testing. After fixing login issue, test login functionality working or not, that is called the sanity testing. Now we see the real type example. So real type example, like for the mock testing, you receive a new build and you have to test login page load, home page load, and the dashboard load, just to confirm that app can be tested further. And for the sanity testing, developer fixes the bug that add to cart button, and you don't check the whole app, just we have to test whether add to cart button is working or not. Suppose if the interviewer asks, give me the real time examples for the mock testing, sanity testing, so please give this example, because when you give this example, so interviewer think that you have a real experience regarding project. So I request you to please give this example, and also told your friend that give this example in the interviewer. Now in the interviewer you can say, because you in interview you don't get much time to explain everything in details. You have to just 1 or 2 minutes to answer. So you need to explain your project or framework in a short way, means you have to explain this every questions in a short. So you have to explain like that. Smoke testing is a build verification testing to ensure the application is stable enough for further testing. It cover high level and critical functionality. But sanity testing is a quick verification for the specific functionality after minor bug fix or the small code changes, and it check whether the fix work and hasn't broken release area. Guys, I have explained all this question in very detail for your understanding, as because if interviewer asks one question related smoke testing and sanity testing, he asks anything about this. So I have explained this question in very detail. Now moving to the next topic, that is regression testing and retesting. Now first we see the basic analogy. Let's say your bike repair shop fixes your brake, means you went to the repair shop and to get the bike repaired. After bike was repaired, you check the brakes only, didn't fix or not, so it is a retesting. And in the regression testing you also check if fixing the brake affected the headlight, horn or the gear. So you are checking side effect of that fix, and it is a regression testing. Guys, if the interviewer asks the example real time exams also, you can give this, but I will suggest give the project related explanations like that. I am telling this example only your basic understanding that what is retesting and what is the regression testing. For that I am giving this example. If you give this example, so there will no problem, but I will suggest that give the example like your project base. So interviewer think that you have a experience, means project related experience. So now we'll see definitions, difference between the retesting and the regression testing. So retesting purpose means to verify the bug fix. Regression testing purpose means to ensure that existing features still work after changes or not. Retesting tests only the specific bug or the feature fix, but regression testing or related test the or related areas and the modules. Retesting based on the defect report and the regression testing based on the impact analysis and the test cases. Execution means it done retesting done with the same test cases that failed earlier, and the regression testing done with the old test cases that passed before. Priority basic retesting has a high priority, and the regression testing has a medium to high priority depending on the changes. For the retesting, yes, usually we do manual for the retesting, but the regression testing we generally use automation testing. As an example, retest if login fail on valid credential, bug is fixed. And regression testing means we check the registration profile logout still work after the login fix. Now this is an example that you have to explain in the interview. So you report a bug that a search button crashes the app. After fix you rerun only the failed test cases, that is for the search button. But in regression testing, after fixing that bug, you test the other feature like filter, paginations or export, or to ensure nothing else in the broken or not. So this is a real time example. Like retesting means you have to retest the only the search button, and regression testing you have to check other search button with a search button other feature like filter, paginations or export to ensure others is broken or not. Now how to explain this question in the interview. So retesting is performed to verify that specific bug has been fixed by executing the failed test case again, and the regression testing means it ensures that new code changes have not impacted existing functionality or not, or it covered a broader area and is usually automated in the project. And we usually do retesting in the manual way, and we do regression testing in a automation way. This is a final summary. You pause the screen on read this carefully. So in this way I have covered the some interview questions related technical round 1. Now some questions is remaining here, and it will cover in the next video. Guys, I have explained all this question in detail along with the real-time example and the project-related example. The real example are to help you understand the concept better, and the project-related example are for your interview. It's okay to give the real-time example during the interview, but I highly recommend sharing a project-based example because interviewer wants to know about your real experience in the project. And guys, if you have any doubts or any question related to this video or the related to my notes, just drop all the question in the comments. I will try to cover them in the next video. And the guys, I have created 5000 plus interview question, and this in I have also tried to give the all 5000 questions answer in detail with the real time example or the project related example. I have also include how to explain the question in the interview with a star method, without star method. Star method means as a project how you have to explain, and without star method in a normal way how you have to explain this question in the interview. And the question structure is like that: 1000 plus Selenium question, 700 plus manual question, as you can on the screen. And these all 5000 questions I have gathered from the different testing platform like LinkedIn channel, LinkedIn group, WhatsApp channel, WhatsApp group, Telegram channel, Telegram groups, and other testing blog. And if you want these notes, I'm giving its link in the comment box and the description box. Please go through this link and take these notes. And if you have any queries regarding these notes, please contact me on my email. I'm giving its link in the description box. So if you like my content, so do like, share, and subscribe my channel, and please share with your needy friend. So if you and your friend is preparing for the automation testing interview, so this question will definitely help you. So thank you for watching once again. Thank you.